So in the promotional mix, of course, there are 5 elements. And online marketing is just a way to carry the message out to our consumers. Each of them can be carried out via online or offline. But what is really important is that we understand what is called integrated marketing communications, IMC. IMC is a popular class taught at universities, and so I suggest that you take the class. It really is focusing on promotion. It is a whole course designed around promotion. And so it's an excellent course to take as you learn about all 5 elements of the promotional mix, and you really dive deep into them and learn how to match them or how they should really be working together. When we talk about IMC, what we're really talking about is fitting the target market and positioning. You need to understand your segmentation so that it matches and works with all the elements of the promotional mix. And it also needs to fit the product. You don't want to be marketing the wrong product in the wrong way. You want to make sure you have the right product you're communicating and that you're going to be communicating it in the right and most effective way. That's appropriate for the life stage that it's at in the product life cycle, or that it's appropriate for the price of the product. If a product is extremely inexpensive, maybe it's a low quality or a budget product, putting it in a fancy magazine doesn't make sense. It doesn't make logical sense. And so you want to, and just like putting a luxury car ad for a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley in mass media, maybe on the side of a highway on a billboard or maybe on a TV commercial, doesn't make sense because it's not targeted enough for that audience. So we want to think about how that works. And it also needs to fit the organization. We need to be able to afford to do this ad. And it also needs to give us the level of control we desire. The great thing about PR is that oftentimes it doesn't cost any money or that it's very cheap, but we have very little control because we're putting the message in the hands of the media. And they may say things in a way that we don't appreciate. Whereas if we're advertising maybe on our own social channels, we can control exactly how the message looks. However, there is an element of social media that allows customers to comment. And they might say things on there that we don't appreciate or that maybe not helpful for our brand. And lastly, we want to take into account the strategies of our competition. What is our competition doing? Should we be copying them? Should we be mimicking them? Or maybe we want to do something completely different. It's quite interesting because one of the most important elements of this is that we need to be clear, we need to be coordinated, and we need to be consistent. And that really is what IMC is about. It's about that coordinated, consistent message. It really is understanding that everything needs to match. It needs to look the same. It needs to feel the same, taste the same, smell the same. It is so important that these things all work together. If we look at some key elements of IMC and you think about some of the ads that you've seen, that is a key element of the success of an example like I've used previously of TELUS, a white ad with an exotic animal in the background. You know exactly who it is. You don't even need to see the TELUS logo. Or if you walk in the mall and you see the Apple store, you don't need to see the Apple logo. You just know the blue shirts that they wear, the hustle and the bustle, the layout, you know exactly what it is. It's an Apple store. It just feels like Apple. Or the last example that's a great one is if I were to put a blindfold on you and take your hands like this, and if I were to put an Acer computer in your hands, or maybe a Dell computer, would you be able to identify the computer? Probably not. But if I blindfolded you and put a MacBook in your hands, would you be able to know it was a MacBook? You probably could, just the feel of it, the structure, the metallic edges. You would know it was a MacBook because it's consistent. It matches everything that they do. And it's quite incredible when you think about how being clear, being coordinated, and being consistent, how helpful that is to a brand.